bottle rockets, but they're about this long, and the
Yep.
charge is about like this, and them fuckers when they went off, they go way up. But when they go off, your walls would shake, and it would do that about 4 or 5 houses around the area. And like all the dogs would start barking, shit be going off.
I used to know people that would go and fill their snowmobile trailer with fireworks, and then they would be at the lake and
You got to switch seats, Leash.
Hey. It's gonna go from 20 fucking below to 25 above today.
yeah.
And then back to 15 below tomorrow.
Oh shit.
And then back up to
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you.
yeah, that's their little button right there.
Pass through.
Oh, thank you.
Good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Canna-Joe Morning Show live. Today is January the 24th, 26th. Ooh, losing them days. I'm Michael Ford.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jenny, and I'm back.
Deb and Dave. With the weather. Where's weather? There it is.
There you go. All to the left
To the left.
or to the right?
Wait,
Is
to
it-
the left.
pass to the right. To the right.
There's the right.
If you go to the left, you'll hit the wall.
Yeah, I will. Here, watch this.
Oh,
Out. No, don't want to go that way.
Lisa.
Wednesday.
Can you hear your background?
Okay, there we go. And I'm Vari the Man. Thank you guys for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday. We got a big day today. Lots of good things, lots of stories here. So we're going to kick it off right, and we're going to jump right into it. We got some serious stuff to talk about. Minnesota groups have united to oppose marijuana legalization here in Minnesota. So, the fact that they're coming together like this, means that we're doing. Don't do that.
Off each other's desks.
Means they're worried. They're worried, and they believe that legalization, it could be something that happens here. So you can look at it either way as something good or something. Let me turn my shit down real quick.
But they've always done this. They actually united the last time we had some legislation introduced, and they were speaking out against marijuana legalization, and they're ramping it back up, just like we're ramping it up to get ready to legalize. They're ramping it up to oppose.
They're running out of excuses. They're running out of talking points because we smash every one of them.
Haters.
Okay, I could barely hear you, Dave, but several business.
Dave, you're muted in the workroom.
Yeah,
And Leisha.
that makes much more sense.
Oh,
Here you are. All right. So
Leisha's still
several.
muted in the workroom.
Oh, hold on. You muted again. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, you good. Big thumbs up. All right, so
And then
several.
we missed everything you said. I didn't hear none of that. So
I didn't really say much. I just said that if they're talking points they keep coming up with, we keep smashing them.
yeah,
They don't
I was
have.
sitting
They
here-
don't have as much to Listen
Right.
to
I was sitting like, damn, that's an awkward silence. But then it was on the restream, so they can hear you in the Zoom, but we just couldn't hear you because I got my audio down. Otherwise,
I
it'll
got
echo.
my Zoom mic is right here.
Oh, okay. Dope. You all right, Leash?
She's fighting with her arms.
Damn things won't. They won't.
What were you saying, Vari?
Jazz hands.
Hmm.
All right.
High five.
So several businesses, trade groups, and social organizations announced the formation of a coalition on Monday opposing legalization of recreational marijuana in Minnesota as the measure's supporters signal another push for the issue ahead of the start of the legislative session next week. The proposal passed in the Democratic-controlled House last session with several Republican votes after picking up support from some GOP lawmakers during its trek through a dozen committees, making it the first time either chamber had voted on the issue. The bill would legalize marijuana use for adults as well as expunge minor cannabis convictions in an effort to remedy inequities in marijuana arrests and convictions among white and Black residents despite their usage rates. Now, the coalition called Minnesota Against Marijuana Legalization consists of the Minnesota Trucking Association, the state's Police and Peace Officers Association, and the Minnesota Catholic Conference, a policy arm of the Catholic Church of Minnesota, among others. The group echoed concerns of Republican lawmakers that the potential for more drivers under the influence and the lack of roadside tests for marijuana for law enforcement would make roadways less safe. They also fear that increased marijuana use could lead to failed drug tests in employment settings and impairment in the workplace, which would worsen worker shortages already experienced due to the pandemic.
Well, maybe if you just don't fucking test people in the workplace when you don't need to.
But they can take opioids and go to work.
Yeah, you know,
Well,
I
I mean,
understand
that's
the
different.
whole driving thing, but every driver that every truck driver I've ever talked to that's got a license, they won't smoke. 99% of them are like, fuck, man, I can't. I'll lose my fucking license. I'll lose my job. So they're aware of it, and all this crap about, oh, there's gonna be stoned drivers out there. No, people deserve the right to responsibly use this plant, just as they're given the right to responsibly use alcohol. So,
Well, you got to think that they're already out there driving on the road
exactly, and
using
they're already
cannabis
out
as
there.
it is.
Absolutely.
And then
the last 40 years.
Right. And then we can kind of refer to NHTSA's poll that Tom usually talks about pretty often on how the impairment level isn't really enough to really affect somebody's driving.
No, it's not.
As much as a child yelling in the back seat or spilling a burger while you're driving.
Looking at your phone for a second, just turning your head for a second is about the same amount of impairment.
Right.
Unless you're eating a shit ton, a couple hundred milligrams of edibles, and they kick in. I mean, that might be an issue, but like I said, it's about responsibility, and I think people can use it responsibly enough.
Right.
So anyway, please continue, Barry.
Have been.
Yes.
For years.
That's just
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Speed limit 55. I'm doing 50.
Yep, exactly. That's how I go down the freeway.
Well,
Fuck you
42.
motherfuckers, just keep going by if you don't like it.
Right?
I'm not going any faster. That's why I'm in the right lane.
At least you're gonna have to turn down your Zoom or your audio, your Zoom audio.
Yeah, or just mute it.
I'm good now.
Yeah.
Well, we can hear you. It's just a lot of
background noise.
Yeah, the Zoom we can hear too in the background. It's getting
Device audio.
So actually, if you're not talking, just mute the Zoom. That way we can still hear you.
The bill is still technically alive, and oh wait, hold on. So this is a quote here. The marijuana bill that passed the Minnesota House.
Okay.
Yes, the marijuana bill that passed the Minnesota House last session wasn't a justice bill. It was a marijuana commercialization bill, said Ryan Hamilton of the Minnesota Catholic Conference during a Monday news conference. As we've seen from other states that have opened the doors for the marijuana industry, the promises made to justify marijuana legalization rarely come true, particularly for communities of color.
What would Jesus do? You know what? I'm pretty sure Jesus used cannabis
Jesus would
in one
smack
form or
us
another. Man,
Oh, I
Sorry.
think.
the Catholic Church needs to back the fuck off.
Well, I mean, hold on. Let's look at this objectively for a second. So he's saying that the bill passed the House last year. Whoa. So he's saying, as we've seen from other states, that they've opened the doors for marijuana industry. The promises made to justify marijuana legalization rarely come true, particularly for communities of color. Now, although he seems to be a proponent or an opponent to legalization,
Right.
there is some truth to that. And I think the issue is like the power that the legislators have to make deals behind doors, you know.
Are you playing devil's advocate for the Catholic Church?
Oh no, I'm just pointing out that the Catholic Church is pointing out something that I think that us as legalization proponents
Activists.
need to, take a look
You
at.
know what? And it's true, Barry. I mean, I hate to admit it, it really is true. They use it as a talking point every single year. They use it as a reason to get reelected. Like, we want those cannabis votes. And then the cannabis supporters will either vote for one of the two third parties. Well, cannabis parties, because two are major parties now, or they'll vote for the candidate that says that they support legalization because they think it's the best way to get there. We got to vote for the right legislators. They get into office. They don't do anything. I think Governor Walls's committee met one time in the last 2 years since he started that.
Kamala Harris.
What was that?
Look at even Kamala Harris when she came out on that show and stated, "I'm going to fight for legalization." She ain't done shit.
Hey, it happens at the state level and it happens all the way up. And it's a shame that it's a tool that they use, to steal votes or to get, people. And it's horrible because they use something that people hope and they believe in to rally their support, and then they just squander it and go find something else to do. So anyway, great point, Vari.
We need a people's bill written by the people. I said we need a people's bill that's written by the people and brought up by,
the people,
whatever, the people's representative, a real representative, not just a politician.
Someone that represents the people that they were elected by.
So the bill is technically still alive, though it's unclear whether Republicans in the Senate will take up the measure. Democratic House Majority Leader Ryan Winkler of Golden Valley, the bill's chief author, told the Minnesota Hemp Growers Cooperative at an event on Wednesday last week that his goal is to re-examine parts of the bill this session to improve the proposal and attempt to get senators on board, though a floor vote in the Senate remains up in the air. Layli Fatahi. I always mess it up. Layli Fatahi, campaign manager for Minnesota's for Responsible Marijuana Regulation, said she thinks the chances the bill sees a floor vote or a hearing in the GOP-controlled Senate are next to zero. But she said the issue is popular with voters regardless of political party, and the election later this year will allow voters to hold lawmakers accountable. 18 states and the District of Columbia have already legalized recreational marijuana for adults to varying degrees, according to data from the National Conference of State Legislators. Minnesota is one of many states that allow medical marijuana, but its restrictions are some of the country's strictest. Even in numbered years, lawmakers are traditionally tasked with building an infrastructure borrowing package known as the bonding bill, but an enormous project, $7.7 billion surplus, will be the focus when the session convenes on January 31st.
Yep, you guys are going to get some Walls checks. He's going to be sending out checks.
They keep saying we're all getting money and I never get shit.
Yeah, Governor Walls, he's going to be sending out checks. You're going to get like $170. Wonder what good that's going to do for you.
Get taxed for like 70 of it.
Yeah, right.
How much does Jesse give us that year?
Oh no, I wasn't
I was a minor.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me feel old. Thank you.
Only by
You're not
this
old,
much.
Dave. You're just
Dave,
older.
only by this much. It was 1 year. Just 1 year.
Okay,
I was 17, so yeah. I knew a lot of people that got it, but I don't remember because I didn't get one.
Well, that's crazy. You know, I heard, I saw this too. You know, and I don't know. I don't think we're gonna end up getting anything. I think it's gonna go all in the bonding bills. They're eventually gonna push that out. They're not gonna let him do that. But
They're not going to
it's crazy.
fix roads, build schools, or stop prescribing deadly opiates.
Damn, just think what you could do with $100 million a year every year. if not
I'm
more.
here, you guys. My battery went out in my controller. Give me a
Yeah, we
second.
hear you in Zoom, Alicia.
Am I hearing Alicia? Sorry, I got the Zoom down so it's not echoing.
She went back.
She said something about her controller. Say it again, Lee.
I had to switch battery in my controller. It went out.
Okay, her battery died in her controller. She didn't catch that.
So
Facebook user.
I'm not sure what's going on. I can't reply in the chat, so I can't drop that article. I'm not
It's
restream
in there.
that
Just
up
hit
again.
send. Just hit send.
Hold on,
Just hit
hold
send. It's in the box.
on. Okay, watch.
See it. Okay.
It's not saying
Oh. Well,
Being
that's
weird.
right.
Being weird. So we'll just verbally respond. You can check out that article at www.nprnews.org / story
Or you can drop it.
We'll figure it
Backslash
out.
double semicolon. You gotta be quick on your fingers though. Good morning, Facebook user.
Our 10 viewers right now. I love it.
Hey, Facebook user, you're my favorite Facebook user.
I think there's more than
They
one.
said we're their favorite family, so they're my favorite
All
Facebook
right.
user.
Oh yeah.
You're our
Shout out
favorite
YouTube,
children.
shout out Facebook, shout out Instagram, shout out Twitter. We're not
Here we
on any
go.
of that other
Hear
stuff.
about this story.
Hi, everybody,
Yeah.
everywhere.
So Amazon endorses GOP bill that would legalize marijuana on the federal level.
I just gotta say something. If this ever happens, you know who the #1 distributor of weed is gonna be?
You
Because
already
the bill
know.
Go through the mail, man. Amazon's gonna be all over that.
Well, they might even. Well, then here's the thing too: is like,
Well, they already got a bunch in their warehouse that they've been storing, right?
yeah,
Don't you have an article
yeah,
Yeah.
to get rid of that? They got to make it legal so they can ship it out.
hell yeah. They do
Before
them.
they smoke it all themselves. It's in the break room.
The thing about it is like, you know, they have that service where like if you're a seller, you can send in like your products. So let's say you do arbitrage, which means like you go through like thrift stores or like the clearance aisle at Walmart, and you get all of like the stuff that's on sale, and you price it to see what it's on Amazon. So if it's selling for more on Amazon, you just get as much as you can, and then you can send all that into
Sell it
Amazon
on Amazon.
and list it. So then when people buy it on Amazon, it's part of the Prime, you know, the 2-day
You know what the
shipping. Because
problem with that is when normal people just go to the store, now they can't find it at the store and everything's out of stock when they look for it because it's been scooped up and people are reselling it. Just like the Oculus controller. I tried to get it right. $69 for a controller, and yet they don't have any. And yet you can
Well,
find them on YouTube for $150.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Dave, the whole metaverse stuff is getting super popular. So everybody's running out to grab Oculus headsets because it's the easiest way to get into the metaverse. You don't have to have your computer. You don't have to have anything, just internet connection.
Yep.
So yeah, they're going to do that, man. Eventually it's going to be hard to even get one. That's my prediction. I'm seeing some people creating worlds and universes stuff. I'm looking like, dang, how the heck can you actually do that in there with them shapes? So yeah.
Anyway, let's see what Amazon's
The
idea about
GOP
federally legalizing.
bill is talking about.
Yeah.
So Amazon has endorsed a Republican-backed blah, blah, blah. A Republican-backed bill in Congress on Tuesday that would legalize marijuana on the federal level. Hold on one second.
Clean your bong water Wednesday, everybody, while Vari clears his throat. Everybody clean your bong out today. Probably every day, but today especially.
Yep. So there's bills in Congress that would legalize marijuana on a federal level, leaving states to decide whether to prohibit or regulate it. Rep. Nancy Mace's States Reform Act will remove cannabis as a federal Schedule 1 substance and introduce a new 3% federal tax on the substance. Revenue from the tax would be routed to help fund law. Nope, they messed up. Would be routed to help fund law enforcement and veterans health programs, and cannabis would remain illegal nationwide for anyone under 21 except for medical marijuana patients. Every state is different, and every state should be able to dictate their cannabis laws, Mace told the Post in an interview. The bill would get the federal government out of the way. In a tweet on Tuesday, Amazon's public policy arm said it was pleased to endorse Mace's proposal. Like so many in this country, we believe it's time to reform the nation's cannabis policy, and Amazon is committed to helping lead the effort, the company said. This was their post on the Twitter sphere.
Ooh. Real GOP-ish.
So Mace, a freshman congresswoman who previously worked for Donald Trump's 2016 president campaign, told the Post that she was approached by Amazon representatives after she introduced the bill. She said the company was motivated to endorse her bill because legal issues around marijuana can make hiring difficult. They're looking at it from a worker's perspective. Yeah. The prohibitions at the federal level really do affect their workplace. Although they set their policies. Workforce, yeah. Amazon told Mace that it was not interested in selling marijuana on its website, according to the Congresswoman. That is not their goal, not their intention, Mace said of the prospect of Amazon pushing pot. They said that right off the bat. In June, Amazon stopped testing many job applicants for marijuana and said that it would support efforts to legalize the drug. Yeah. Mace expects Democrats, many of whom supported weed legalization for years, to come out in support of her bill. She argued that Republicans are also likely to support her bill because it gives
and becomes weak.
Becomes more power to states, and because weed legalization is extremely popular nationwide.
Got that teacher stare for a second.
So even in my very red state of South Carolina, statewide medical cannabis is at an approval rating of 70%, she said. If we're going to do cannabis reform at the federal level, Republicans need to have a seat at the table. Mace said she hadn't spoken to representatives from other large U.S. corporations like Walmart or FedEx about the bill, but she expects Amazon's endorsement to push other companies along.
Fingers crossed on that.
With Amazon coming out in support, we'll see more businesses doing the same, Mace said. The bill has 4 Republican co-sponsors, Reps Don Young of Alaska, Brian Mast of Florida, Tom McClintock of California, and Peter Meijer of Michigan. I wonder if he owns Measure.com.
Possible.
Amazon did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
They had to think about it.
Yeah. So sweet. So that's I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's dope that.
Well, it's yeah, but it needs to go federally. I mean, they need to get the MORE Act through, the Safe Banking Act. I mean, they gotta stop screwing around and just get it done.
Yeah.
They're working on it, but like Barry was saying earlier, they're using this as a reason to get votes. Like, why introduce multiple bills that do the same thing? Oh, well, this is the DFL version. Well, this is the GOP version.
Exactly.
Well, it's the same thing. You know, why is there a debate over which one to use? Like, if we don't,
why don't they just come together?
But they only support it if it's introduced from their party.
From them, yep.
That's some dumb shit, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
look at mine. No, look
Yeah.
at mine. No, why don't y'all just put that crap together and get it done?
Yeah, they could easily just let it go to hearings and then, added amendments or whatever, like shit they wanted to change. And,
Not about getting it done in the end for them.
Yeah, it's about money for one. It's about ego. You got to think, legislators are people just like regular people. They just have a different title.
Yeah,
Titles
they
are
put
crazy.
their pants on one leg at a time, just like the rest of us do.
Yep.
though, I heard
Do they?
some. I heard some.
Maybe they're on
Right.
Zoom
I
conference. Maybe
heard
they
some
put
of
their
them
tie on and
slide
leave
into
their pants off.
theirs. They wiggle in it.
Jump right in.
Maybe they have other people do it for them, so they.
Yeah, there's some
I
of
didn't
them
think
probably
about
do.
that.
Right.
Well, crisscross put their pants on backwards.
Hey.
But I bet they did it one leg at a time still.
Oh,
It made them
or they just jumped right in.
Jump.
right.
Jump.
Because
Anyway, so we do have a couple of dope things going on this evening. If you didn't get the invite, tune into the DFL Senate Caucus review of cannabis regulations and where it's at. We will post that link a little later. I'll post it on Minnesota Marijuana. We could probably post it to Canna-Joe as well. It's going to be a nice event. You'll get to speak with Ryan Winkler. So if you do want to participate in that event this evening, it starts at 7 p.m. Once again, I'll share that link again. If you can go on and donate, I think the least you can donate is like $1, like $1 or something, Barney.
I think it was 5.
5 ducats.
5 is the minimum.
What's that? A pack of
I
blocks?
mean,
I think you can donate at least $1. I think she was saying somebody
yeah,
donated
The
$1.
suggested minimum is 5, but if
It's
you only
5.
got $1, that'll
Anything
help.
that you got, look, every dollar counts. But if you do want to participate in the Zoom conference and you want to get in there and you actually want to ask questions and you want to meet or maybe talk to some of the legislators that are going to be on for the Q&A portion, go on that link. You can donate. Joints coming from right past Dave.
I'm sorry, I'm busy rolling.
You can go on there and we'll post
here.
the link. And if you want to go on and donate, you can join us on the Zoom. We'll all be on the Zoom. If you don't care to donate, but you do want to hear what's going on, we will broadcast that live on the event that was posted by Sensible Minnesota, Minnesotans for Responsible Marijuana Regulation, and Minnesota Marijuana. Definitely pay attention. We'll have that going on tonight, so it's going to be dope, and we will be broadcasting that live, and then we'll share it other places. Do we got other events coming on? We are supposed to be working on a Monopoly tournament, and I know people said they were interested in that. Still need to get a Google poll out. We'll get it up in the group. I'll try to get it up by this Friday at the latest. And lastly, February 1st will be the political party caucuses. If you're planning to participate in your caucus, go on to mnnormal.org, or you can go to your political party website and get caucusing information for where your caucus is located. I'm going to be participating for the first time. I've never participated in caucuses because I normally run third party, Legal Marijuana Now, or grassroots. But unfortunately, this is not the year necessarily for a protest vote, and it's going to be important for you to get involved in the political process. I did post 2 different PDFs into the Minnesota Marijuana Group, one for GOP, one for DFL. I will also post the resolution that I'm going to be introducing myself, the language. I think Marin did post something into one of the comments under the DFL file, I believe, and I posted the modified version. It's going to be weird. Never did this before. So if you've ever participated in that, good luck out there. Let's introduce some resolutions. Because right now, as it stands, the DFL does not have cannabis legalization as a part of the party platform, nor does the GOP. So neither party actually has it, and we're going to need to introduce those resolutions if we want to see that on the party platform, whether you're Republican or Democrat. So do get involved in that process. February 1st, if you don't know where your caucusing location is, go online to your political party and find out more information. Also, mnnormal.org has the information as well. Is that it? I think that's it for the events and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, back to you, Dave.
All right. Michael, as usual, your weather is brought to you by windy.com. If you need to know what's going on outside, just click on windy.com or watch our show. So, yes, it got a little chilly this morning, and it's really starting to warm up quick. We were down like 20 below this morning, and it's starting to creep up above. Most places it's already up above zero. Some places up north are still in the minus areas. A little bit of clouds coming through right now. Partially cloudy. It's a little sunny down here, but most of the central and northern parts are starting to get some clouds coming in, and they will build as the day goes on, and so will the temperature. So we went from minus 21 somewhere around 3 o'clock this morning, and we're heading for a high of up to 30 in some places, even in central Minnesota. And this is what the word of the day is right now, and it's roller coaster. That's what we're going to be on for a while. As it gets up to 30 today, the clouds will dissipate this evening around midnight, and the temperatures are going to fall back down to 17 below by tomorrow morning at around 6 a.m. And they're pretty much going to stay there. It's going to be a cold day on Friday. So Thursday is going to be back up in the 30s, then back down to minus 15, minus 17 Friday morning. And then Saturday, as the clouds are going to kind of stick around, they might get a peak of sun around noon. We're going to be back up to about 27 again. And then it's just going to kind of level off for a while. Going to hang in them 20s. In those teens. So, it's just the wind is going to be a little high today. We're going to have some gusts up there. I know a lot of schools were canceled, and mainly it wasn't so much as because of the cold temperatures, but the winds that are coming this afternoon where visibility could be an issue. Could be making some slick spots out there, so be careful on the way home. It's going to get real windy, but the wind will calm down as the week goes on. And like I said, we're just going to be up and down. I mean, it's just, it's kind of crazy. I don't think I can remember seeing days like this in the past where we've gone from minus 15 to 25, back down to minus 12, and then back up into a little bit of a warming trend, but it's kind of insane. As for snow, I don't see much coming. There might be a little hit or miss spots, and maybe a trace in some places. Tonight, but really that's about it. I mean, there really isn't nothing coming through. Northern Minnesota might get hit later tonight around 9 p.m. or so, but it's really not much there. I don't see a lot of snow coming for a while here, at least through the weekend. Weekend should be somewhat not bad. So good weekend to get out and do something if you can handle Minnesota cold. It's going to be in the teens, around there. Sunday afternoon, looking about the same, 16, 14. A little bit of clouds rolling in later on Sunday afternoon, but not bad weekend. So that said, enjoy the wonderful Minnesota weather.
30-degree temperature swings in 24 hours.
Yes, exactly. Enjoy it.
Dope. And with that, I think that's it. Oh, shout out to the subgroups. If you didn't get a chance to go on Facebook and join our subgroups, there's a new mycology subgroup. There's Men Marry Metaverse subgroup. There's also, what's the other
mycology?
Blaze Gamers Lounge. I think Jenny's going to start doing these updates on the subgroups one of these days.
And
but every Sunday we're going to be
group. Also.
Yep, we said that first.
Okay.
Every Sunday we're going to update our group with new subgroups. I know people have suggestions on what subgroups they would like to see us create in Minnesota marijuana. We will continue to add one every Sunday. We didn't want to just blast the group full of subgroups, but every week we're going to introduce some new subgroups. So thank you guys for tuning in. Barry, you got some words of wisdom? Oh, you okay? Medkit.
Yeah, she got the medkit.
He's got to pass the joint off over there. Here, Dave, take it. It smells good.
I'm good.
We'll just stash that right.
Be so good they can't ignore you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Say it again.
Be so good. Be so good they can't ignore you.
I like that. Yeah. Ooh.
Like that. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're out of here.
See you later.
Peace.
Peace.
Only got one arm.
I'm just